Hey guys, welcome to the channel and another video. Today I'm going to be watching Stargate by Roland Emmerich. Apparently I've been calling him Ronald Emmerich in my previous reviews of his films. I'm really sorry about that, and thank you for correcting me in the comments. I wouldn't have noticed otherwise. Stargate, it's a movie or franchise that I know very little about. I know that it's a sci-fi film about a portal to another world. I know that it spawned a follow-up TV series or TV show, and that's about it. I also know that there's a small but dedicated fan base to this franchise. I don't even know who's starring in this movie, so this is one of those films that I'm going into completely blind. I have watched plenty of Emmerich films. I consider him one of my guilty pleasure directors, as you know. I've reviewed Godzilla and The Patriot on the channel. Do check those out when you have the time. Off the channel, I've watched Independence Day, the awful sequel, The Day After Tomorrow, 2012, White House Down, and most recently, Moonfall, which has been my favorite worst movie of the year. It was so bad. It was so bad that I thoroughly enjoyed it, much like another movie called The Room by Tommy Wiseau. I highly recommend Moonfall. It's fantastically bad, and I'm sure you'll have a good time with it because you'll be laughing throughout. For now, I just hope Stargate is closer to The Patriot than to Moonfall in terms of quality, because The Patriot was actually a decent movie, and I'd go as far as to say that it was pretty good. Probably Emmerich's best I've seen. But before we get into it, to help support the channel, I have a Patreon page for full-length reviews and reactions to this movie and over 200 movies, early access, weekly polls for what to watch next. You'll need your own copy to watch along. The link's in the description below. Please consider being a patron. Please subscribe to the channel. Click that bell icon for instant notifications. Do check out my other videos. Like if you like this video, feel free to dislike it if you didn't. With all that being said, let's get started. Stargate, Emmerich. Let's go. A Roland Emmerich film. Kurt Russell, dude, and James Spader. Holy crap! Like I said, I didn't know who was starring in the movie, but pretty good lineup if you ask me. Stargate. Is that an Egyptian scarab? The music's pretty good. Okay, the music's by David Arnold. Yep, I'm convinced. It's some sort of Egyptian sphinx head. North African desert, 8000 BC. That's like pre-civilization, right? I wonder how this relates to a portal in another world. They're being visited by aliens? Oh, okay. I just put two and two together. The whole conspiracy theory of the pyramids being built by aliens. They're playing to that. Interesting, okay. So I already have to assume that these aliens built this Stargate thing. Wait, was that the pyramid? Was that the ship itself? Fast forward to Egypt in 1928. The golden age of archaeology. Ooh, that must be the Stargate.
Herregud, hva er det? Jeg ønsker jeg visste det. Men hvorfor har han flyttet dit?
A fossil? That implies that that thing was alive. And now we're at present day, which means mid-90s.
The pharaohs of the 4th dynasty did not build the Great Pyramids. Look, inside the pyramid...
James Spader. He looks so goofy and young. I've seen his work post-2000s.
Well, who do you think built the pyramids?
I don't have any idea who built them.
Interesting. A lot of Emmerich films have a stock character, the conspiracy theorist. Even Moonfall, his latest film, had it. James Spader's character believes the pyramids weren't built by the Egyptians. Is that Catherine, the child we saw earlier?
Is there a lunch or something that everybody...
Oh, it is Catherine.
What is this all about?
Job.
What kind of a job?
Translation.
Okay.
Want to prove that your theories are right? This is your chance.
Interesting. It's not like you can't say no, right?
Do you think we might be able to speak with him? You can try.
Kurt Russell. Okay, he's Mr. O'Neill. Did he lose his son or what? The way he's looking at those pictures. Looks depressed.
We're here to inform you that you've been reactivated.
Dude's clearly suffering from depression, man.
His kid died. Accidentally shot himself. Jeez.
Oh. Military installation at Creek Mountain, Colorado. Okay. Emmerich movies also have government agencies who are investigating the phenomenon. There's a lot of commonality in his films if you look for them.
Excuse me. What do we need?
He knows better.
We've used every known technique.
Stargate! Russell's here, so he accepted the job.
Do I know you?
I'll be taking over from now on.
I was told I had complete autonomy.
Plans change.
2 weeks later. He's starting to figure it out. Was that the Orion constellation?
Orion.
Dude. So they weren't symbols after all, they were coordinates facing Orion.
So you think you've solved in 14 days what they couldn't solve in 2 years?
He was the right man for the job.
To find a destination, you need 6 points. But to chart a course, you need
A place of...
a point of
exactly,
origin.
a frame of reference.
Well, the 7th actually isn't inside the cartouche. It's just below it here.
That symbol isn't anywhere on the device.
All right, well, what device?
Come on, show him. Show him the Stargate. What a dramatic reveal. This room is right next to it. Decent music in the background.
It's your Stargate.
Man, James Spader is a very good actor. He's showing awe. Dude, they got it moving.
Directly above it.
He's right.
Jackson has identified the 7th symbol.
So they're about to open the portal immediately without any further research?
Chevron 6 is locked in place.
This is as far as we have ever been able to get.
But now they've found the 7th symbol. Decent special effects. I wouldn't say it's amazing by any means, but it's decent.
It has mass. It could be a moon or a large asteroid.
A different galaxy.
This is the information the probe sent back to us. Freeze and enhance.
I love when films use the word enhance.
These markings are different. They don't match the symbols on our gate.
That's why we may have to abort.
Interesting. A different set of symbols for the return journey.
Well, I could do that.
Are you sure?
Once in a lifetime opportunity. Yeah, Kurt Russell plays badasses so well. And in a lot of films, he's a man of few words. What is this thing? Was that the fossil? I think so.
I have something for you. I found it with Stargate when I was a child.
Oh, that pendant.
Anybody has anything to say, now's the time to say it.
I love the bits of visual humor Emmerich puts in his films. Yeah, the special effects are okay. I think Emmerich is trying to show that they're going through a wormhole.
Jackson!
Are we inside another pyramid, a parallel pyramid on that world? Judging by the natural light, I assume this planet also has a sun similar to ours. A pyramid, I knew it! And this world has at least 2 or 3 moons.
We really need to look around.
Your job here is to realign the Stargate. Can you do that or not?
I just need to find it.
You're a lying son of a bitch! He didn't say a word about finding anything!
His curiosity. That's what drove him to come here. Oh man, don't tell me it's a bomb or an explosive. I mean, I guess I kind of understand the reason for it. Just in case something bad happens, they want to blow up this end of the Stargate so the aliens can't attack them. It's a camel-like creature. That's not CGI, I think. That was a physical prop, which I always appreciate over computer-generated images. Yeah, definitely an animatronic.
It's okay.
It's got a harness!
Exactly.
It's domesticated!
Exactly, dude!
Damn it.
Crap, that looks like a proper settlement of humans or humanoid creatures? Or are they straight up humans?
It's okay. It's okay, see? See?
I know this actor, okay, I don't know his name, but I remember him from The Mummy, Mr. Deeds.
I can't make it out. Sounds familiar.
You want me to eat that? It's good. It's so good.
He's inviting us to go with him.
How you can be so sure?
Because he's inviting us to go with him. You want me to get us back home? This is our best shot.
That's true. They need to look for that symbol.
Tell them to keep that area secured until we get back.
Yes, sir.
Oh, man. Okay, this is what I appreciate over CGI. Well-made sets. Dude, I know this symbol. It's a pretty famous Egyptian symbol. I think it's for one of their gods. The Eye of Ra. There you go. What are you doing, man?
Mio! Tayo!
This looks like a dust storm.
Sandstorm coming this way!
Well, that would have been an excellent reason to shoot everyone.
Good call. But that brings them closer to the explosive.
Taste. No.
Don't draw that?
Oh, it's... Okay, that's good.
These look like the village elders. Dude, they're sending her to appease him somehow?
No, you don't have to do that. Please.
Are you not happy with the sacrifice?
I'm very happy.
Daniel. I'm Daniel.
Shouty.
Shari.
You've seen this symbol?
Dude, something's happening. Another flying pyramid. Holy crap! That pyramid is literally encapsulating this one. Guys, stick together. They look humanoid? Huh. Interesting. Was that a mask of sorts?
Hi. Yeah, it's pretty fabulous.
These people can create fire at will. Amazing. Don't start smoking. It's a horrible habit. That's very hard to stop.
No! Dangerous!
Jeff.
Take me to your leader. I don't know what's happening inside that pyramid.
Jackson, the guy who wears this jacket, he's got like long hair that comes down. No. Wears glasses so he can see.
Yeah, I like these little bits of visual humor.
Patriot couldn't speak their language.
He's learning.
traveler from distant stars, escaped from a dying world looking for a way to extend his own life.
Ah, we're finally getting exposition.
Searched the galaxies looking for a way to cheat death. He came to a world rich with life.
Earth.
Ra took him and possessed his body.
Interesting.
Like some kind of a parasite looking for a host. He used the Stargate to bring thousands of people here to this planet as workers.
So humans were from Earth. They were brought to this planet.
Fearful of a rebellion here, Ra outlawed reading and writing.
So Ra is a literal entity here.
Wait a minute. Where's the seventh?
Oh, they got 6 out of 7.
Come on, Jackson!
Yeah, I think they like each other. That's beautiful imagery. You're inside the pyramid, my friend. Oh man, that dude is dead.
What are you looking for?
It's gone. I think this is Ra. The bomb. He recognizes that it's a bomb.
What'd you come here for?
And it's that kid from the beginning. The body he took over. How do you even know how to operate that thing? Oh? They're attacking the settlement straight up. I mean, the concept of this film is wildly original, if you ask me. She's asking about Daniel. Dude, they healed him. The bodies, they're easy to repair. I don't know whether that's good enough motivation to destroy an entire civilization.
Didai to sadei miyara. Bishton soy kharnaturo, makriro wen munafras. Yimyon anachyu mai nedatau.
Just like Earth, I think these people will try and start their own revolution against Ra. They've got guns. I'm having a little hard time in following what exactly happened just now.
Anyway, we could sure use their help right now.
For what? Huh?
Well, you've lost your bomb doesn't mean you have to lose your mind.
Track down signs of any possible danger. If I found any, blow up the Stargate. Well, I found some.
Well, that's a clear sign that he likes her.
This is a symbol for this planet. That's it.
Right! The 7th symbol. Another criticism I have of the film is the fact that a lot of the characters weren't explored at all, like the rest of the military people. There isn't too much character development.
Give me my Aturuti.
They are not gods after all.
How you doing?
Get that door!
he's sending out the fighter planes.
Sakai soy.
The bomb's unguarded. And it looks like O'Neill's found it.
You got 7 minutes.
7 minutes. Oh no.
Jackson! Wait for me.
Oh man. Even though this dude didn't have too many scenes, I kinda liked him. He was curious. She's alive. Oh. I think that dude just got decapitated. He's here with the rest of the people. Now they're vastly outnumbered. Everything changed once they saw that their gods were mortals. But it's only a minute and a half till the bomb explodes, so how does that factor into the equation? Oh! I think he intends to fly out of here.
I can't stop it. They got it rigged.
Oh man, okay. I think I got it. Genius! They have a teleportation device. Man, they actually kill Ra in this movie. I mean, the visual effects again, they're fine. I'm also a fan of this love story subplot. I think that worked. Gave some emotional depth to the movie.
Thanks, Daniel.
Daniel chooses to stay behind.
You gonna be alright?
He'll be fine. He speaks the language.
I'm gonna be all right.
He's married now.
Tell Catherine this brought me luck.
Going back to its rightful owner. The end. I'm so glad that they're ending it here. I actually enjoyed this movie more than I thought I would. I think this is my second favorite Emmerich film after The Patriot. Thank you for voting for this, guys. Okay, I took some time to collect my thoughts. First off, that was way better than I expected. I'd go as far as to say that Roland Emmerich did a decent job with the directing here, and the script itself felt pretty original. To me, the strengths of the movie were the premise, the performances from Spader and Russell, some of the world building, the sets and locations, the costumes, and the mashup between sci-fi and ancient Egypt. The main weaknesses, in my opinion, were the CGI, which didn't age well, unfortunately, the lack of exploration of the world building stuff that was set up. I really wanted to know more of that world and their tribe and their gods, how they evolved their own language. And finally, the lack of character development for a lot of the actors, including the rest of the military people. Although I am pretty happy with Spader's and Russell's characters, as they had a somewhat meaningful arc. Let's start with the directing by Roland Emmerich and the script by him and Dean Devlin. I have to say the best part of the film was the concept itself. The premise really drew me in, and the first act was executed fairly well. Emmerich did a good job in introducing his characters and showing their motivations. Jackson was a talented linguist, but a conspiracy theorist who lost his funding and had no choice but to accept that job, this mysterious job, whereas O'Neill lost his son and had nothing to lose, so he's the perfect soldier to send on a suicide mission. The scenes from the past they were also done well, and they were integrated with the plot decently. One thing I wanted to point out is that this film took This film had a lot of stock characters, something that's very reoccurrent in other Emmerich films. It had the scientist who's mad, but he's a conspiracy theorist. It had some sort of rebellion. It had a unflinching military man, and of course, government officials trying to take control of the situation. Emmerich uses these characters or character ideas in many of his other projects, including Independence Day, the horrible sequel, Moonfall, or even 2012. These parallels are striking and very noticeable. The second act of the film was probably my favorite. That's mostly because of the world building of these people and how they got there in the first place. One of the most interesting concepts of the movie was not the Stargate itself, it was the fact that humans have been brought to that planet and evolved their own language over time in a completely different way. I was fascinated by that. I wish Emmerich and Devlin would have explored that part of that movie more. I really wanted to know their history and how they came to be. Why were they considered slaves? I mean, we know why, but more exploration would have been better. Thankfully, a lot of exposition was provided, which piqued my interest, but I wished for more. Especially their customs and how they interacted with people from Earth, the Zippo lighter, the guns, that was awesome. Another thing that worked was the love story subplot involving O'Neill and Shaori, which gave the movie some much needed emotional depth and gave O'Neill motivation to stay back on the planet at the end. The third act of the movie made the story more generic and in line with traditional Hollywood films. I'd consider this the weakest part of the movie. It turns into an us versus them situation, a rebellion, and some action scenes where the rebels win and kill their false gods and they become free. These action scenes, they were fine, although I wouldn't say they were amazing. A lot of camera work in those scenes made them hard to follow. They were shaky, but the ending itself was fairly satisfactory, albeit a little generic and predictable, with the bad guys dead and literally everyone at peace, or they triumphed at the end. Let's talk a little about the criticisms I had with the movie, mostly the CGI and the lack of character development for almost everyone. The CGI wasn't outright bad, but unfortunately it didn't age that well. The CGI around that time was better in bigger productions, so I primarily blame the budget here. Look at Terminator 2, which came out several years before this, and that film was, holy crap. We can't compare too many films to Terminator 2. I wouldn't go as far as to say the CGI took me out of my experience, but it was something that stood out. There was also a lack of character development outside the two leads. For example, I felt nothing when some of the military personnel died or even sacrificed themselves, or even when the rebellion started. A lot of people died. I wish I knew about these people more. That would probably make me care about them, if that makes any sense. Moving on to the music, which was somewhat familiar, I'd say. It wasn't bad by any means, but it did remind me of other sci-fi films of that era. I can't quite put my finger on it. The sound design itself, that was pretty good, especially the voices of the gods, that stood out. Finally, another highlight of the movie for me were the sets, costumes, and number of extras. I really liked the practical aspect of the production here. The Egyptian-inspired clothing was especially well made. The sets, although they didn't look very real, they did have a sense or an air of authenticity about them. And the same goes for the sets and set design. The most impressive part of the final act for me were the number of extras in that scene. That really showed the scale of the production here. I just wish they used the budget a little better. Overall, Stargate was a great time. In my opinion, this was the second best Roland Emmerich film I've seen after The Patriot. The directing was decent, the plot was wildly original, the performances from James Spader and Kurt Russell, they were pretty good, and some of the world building, man, that was fascinating to watch. The film suffers from some of the same issues of other Emmerich productions, like character development, stock characters, and over-reliance on CGI, but as a whole, I really had a good time with this one. The premise itself was probably worth the price of entry here. I probably wouldn't recommend this film for everybody, but for fans of sci-fi, there is a lot to love here. Anyways, thank you for watching. I have a Patreon page. Consider being a patron. Subscribe to the channel. Click that bell icon for instant notifications. Do check out my other videos. Like if you like this video, dislike it if you didn't. I will see you in the next one. Bye.